In this short video, we're going to be exploring some of the add off-grid beam options. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be working with my steel material on my roof layout. I'm going to select my layout beam icon, and then let's go ahead and select my off-grid icon. Now, several of these graphic modes that are available here can be useful in a variety of different circumstances. So it's a good idea to go ahead and get comfortable with the different options that we have available. I'm going to start with the parallel to beam option. Now, say for example, I want to add a member exactly in line with this one. I'm going to go ahead and say enter the offset as 0, and we can go ahead and click the add button. Then whenever you select an option for the off-grid command, instructions will appear at the bottom left-hand corner in the status bar to let you know what the program is expecting you to click next. Here I'm going to select my starting point for my member. It's identified the member I selected by highlighting it, and then it's given me a line of saying somewhere along this line we're going to model your new beam. And I'm going to go ahead and click in the bay where I want to create that beam. Now, what's important to remember when using this type of command is that the program will be relying on some supporting members to be where you're modeling it. So say, for example, I selected this member again and I try to click over here. The program won't allow me to add it there because there's no stopping point for how the member is going to be supported on the left-hand side of the member. So we'll just go ahead and click OK. Now, it doesn't have to be in the bay exactly adjacent to it. I can select a member over here and model it that way as well. Now, if I want to return to that dialog and change some parameters, let me go ahead and right click. Now, parallel to beam, you can also enter an offset. So I entered 0 first, but say I want to create a member exactly 4 feet off of another one. I can enter my offset, click the add button, and then it just works slightly different. I'm still going to identify the member I want to select, and then this time it's asking me on which side of the member. Now, it doesn't exactly have to be in this bay. Again, I can click on this bay or this bay if I want to, as long as it's going to be able to successfully identify some supporting members. So here I'm going to maybe model one exactly in that bay. I can use it again and click in an adjacent bay as well. Let's go ahead and right click again and select a few other options. Here, let's go ahead and say beam to beam distance. So say I want to add a skewed beam. It's going to be offset from one beam member 4 feet from the end, and say from another member 10 feet from the end. Okay, let's go ahead and click the add button. Again, the status bar is going to give me some instructions. I'm going to identify my first beam, and then where do I want to offset that 4 feet from? I'm going to select the top of the member, this end. Now I need to select another beam. I'm going to select this beam. Again, which end do I want to offset that 10-foot distance from? I'm going to select that end over there. Let's go ahead and right-click again. This time, let's select the beam to beam and a distance angle. Now I can enter the angle relative to the reference beam, which is the initial beam I'm going to select, or relative to the x-axis. I'm going to say relative to the reference beam. I'm going to enter an angle as 90 degrees, so I want it to be perpendicular to the girder that's going to be supporting it. And I'm going to enter a distance of 8 feet. We'll go ahead and click the add button. I'm going to identify my girder. Then I want to offset a member 8 feet from this end. Which side of the member do I want to model it on? I want to model it on this side. I can do it again on this side of the member and create a member like that. Now let's go ahead and right-click one more time. And this time we're going to enter the column to beam. We're going to enter an angle relative to the x-axis. And we're going to enter an angle of, let's go with 45 degrees. Let's go ahead and click the add button. And then we're going to identify a column on our model. So here I'm going to select a column, and in any direction at 45 degrees, I can create another member. So let's go ahead and click in that quadrant. Now with any of these tools, you should be able to accomplish a lot of the different modeling configurations that you might find.
If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. If you want to see more such series, consider subscribing to our channel. Thank you, and see you next time.